everyone to the Secrets of Hammerfast D&D stream. I am Ken Breeze, Burling's Beard. You know me. I've been doing this for the past 20 weeks. This is our 20th episode. Oh my God, we made it. We made it, you guys. We made it. We made it. 20th episode. Welcome to our D&D 5th edition stream. Our 20th episode title, Secrets Revealed. Oh, the secrets will be revealed tonight on the Secrets of Hammerfast. As I said, I am Ken Breeze, Burling's Beard. I am a concierge DM in the New York City area. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you like what you see, if you're watching us on Twitch or on YouTube, check me out on my website, burlingsbeard.com. Hire me to be your DM if you want to play some D&D. But it's not just me making this awesome. It's all the players as well. Let me introduce you to them now. We have Kelsey playing Callie. Welcome back, Kelsey.
I purposefully chose a difficult, Hey, guys.
What can you tell us about Callie?
So Callie, as depicted here, you guys can see Anthony made some awesome Callie art here. Yeah. She is a former street urchin. I guess she's kind of more of a, she lives with her friends on the road now. And she grew up living a tough life, learned her way through the streets of Orphan Town. She throws playing cards as her weapon of choice. And she's joined by a teacup pig who, through arcane dabbling, has become her familiar. His name is Rimpleton. Yeah. He has a big personality. He likes jewelry. He likes to look nice. So there he is.
One thing he does love is crowns, as you can see depicted in his character illustration. Also, it was awesome to learn that Callie, her last name is Greenbottle. She doesn't know where her parents are. She's an orphan. Also, I loved to learn last session that she doesn't bathe regularly. So that was sort of a very interesting character background.
It's risky. It's risky to bathe, I tell you.
Risky. Very risky. I love it. Well, we also have with us, you know this guy. This is Anthony. He's playing Aileron. Welcome back, Anthony. 20th episode. You're welcome. You're welcome. What can you tell us about Aileron? We've been with us since the beginning. He's gone through so much.
Yeah, Aileron. Let's see. Well, he was a scholar at one point where he learned both the way the sword and the pen. He went out on his ways to become an adventurer, make some name for himself. He met Callie on the road, and since they've been fast friends, they learned a thing or two from each other. He's a half-elf with bronze skin. He has really short hair, which is covered by his helmet, which is super shiny, and it's like you can see your face in it. It's like a mirror. He also carries a thin blade and a shield, and he has a turtle shell stuck to his back as it was forcibly attached to him by Krautsky Schildkröte in the underwater depths. And so here he is today.
Love it. Love it. Indeed. So much has happened to him on his adventures. And last but not least, we have Thomas. Thomas, great to see you.
Great to see you all.
Yeah. What can you tell us about Elio?
Elio the Illuminator is a Genasi cleric, a fire Genasi cleric, as you can probably tell. He is a cleric of the light, specifically a cleric of the sun, which, after having wandered the plains for some time, he was so smitten with the glory of the brilliant shining sun that he devoted himself to its service and has indeed manifested some strange powers beneath its glow. He seeks to bring light to the darkness and etc., etc., and he has run into these two brave adventurers and has been working tirelessly to help liberate the castle that he met them in order to claim it back for the summer court of the Fae, but more importantly, as a beacon of light in a world of darkness.
That's right. And that is a great segue into talking about what we have been doing on the stream up until now. Go ahead and check out those previous episodes if you do get a chance. But if you haven't, we're in the depths under a lake, where we're in a sunken, ruined Fae castle, and we're seeking to close a watery portal to another world. Our heroes are closing in on this foul ritual that's being performed by trout folk fish people who live under the waters. They've been corrupted, though, in spirit and in form by their worship of an extraplanar evil, a powerful creature of water called the Padishah. The heroes, as they descended underneath Id Othramel, the ruined Fey castle, they're in the coral tunnels underneath in the dungeons, if you will. And there they've had many adventures. They've run into one of the offspring of this Padishah, a sorcerer named Hari, that they were able to turn to their side and send ahead as sort of a spy double agent. After that, though, the heroes found where the trout folk had been worshiping the Padishah as a god and destroyed that altar, as well as the evil priests that were protecting it. In that chamber, they also found a secret room where they have been resting. In that secret room, and I'm going to take us to our map now. In that secret room, which is right here, our heroes have been taking a long rest. And that long rest is coming to an end. However, complicating things in this sort of small coral chamber, if you'll remember, there was sort of an optical illusion that made it seem like it was a solid wall, but if you could walk in between two narrow parts of it to find this sort of natural chamber that's hollowed out behind it. It's all made out of coral, the walls, the ceiling, the floor. It's pretty hard and sharp in certain points. It's compact. And as I said, what makes it a little bit more interesting is that there is the smell of death here, specifically because there are a number of corpses here. Last, you found two trout folk corpses, so their fishy death scent is sort of everywhere. You have been trying to sort of get used to it. It's very difficult, but after the number of hours that you've been here, it's sort of become just part of your world at this point. If you'll remember, the trout folk dead that
given the surroundings,
yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, perhaps there are things that you can do to combat it. We can talk about that in a moment. But the trout folk dead, if you'll remember, Elio was sensing magic and sensed that they both had magical necklaces on, and that those necklaces had amulets, which were small renditions of Klaugi Schildkröte, the dragon turtle. They're small turtle amulets, like little statues almost. And they are very reminiscent of the larger statue that you had found in the Fey Tower in the castle above, that the power source that will allow you to raise the castle above the waters of the lake once again. That is the entire reason in some ways that you're down here, is to gain the information that the dragon turtle Klaugi Schildkröte is looking for, so that he will give you the incantation so you can power this statue, this larger statue. These amulets, or rather these necklaces, were made from sea glass, and your detect magic, Elio, had revealed to you that they were indeed magical. They had abjuration magic on them, and you guys sort of took a rest. How did you?
Total were there? The necklaces?
There were two necklaces on two dead trout folk. It seems like that they've been here for probably a number of weeks, actually. It looks like they've been here longer than you guys have maybe been down in the castle. You've been here for a number of days now. But it looks like that they were slain a while ago. They're still pretty ripe, though, so it's pretty nasty in here. How are you guys dealing with that situation?
Well, I'm used to stinky street smells, so this is kind of like the fish market I grew up in. It kind of reminds me of home, actually, so I don't hate it. You know.
Yeah, totally.
I think back to some of my camping tricks and survival tricks I've learned, and I create air and I use it to sort of smoke the whole area.
Yeah, you're sort of having a separate scent to sort of fight it. That makes a lot of sense. Elio, is there anything that you're doing?
Yeah, I'll help with that plan. I mean, I can make fire all over the place. So
Cool. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So you guys are sort of smoking it out a little bit. You do. You're in here for 8 hours as you're resting and regaining your sort of health and vitality. During that time, you have watches. You're not really seeing anything coming up on you.
we do have a captive in here we're keeping watch on.
You
as well.
do have a captive that you're keeping watch on. That's very true. Whoops. And that captive, yeah, has sort of definitely been sort of asleep, I guess, or knocked out rather. You had sort of been keeping them in here so they wouldn't go off and give away your position to anyone. Um, as you guys are smoking the room and sort of clearing out of this really nasty scent, are you doing anything with the magical necklaces?
Can I kind of put one on and see if anything happens, if I feel anything, if I learn anything?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. So as you place one on Elio, you definitely there's an immediate feeling of wellness, as if you just feel incredibly healthy, which is really funny and ironic because unbeknownst maybe to you audience, I am quite sick right now, and so is Kelsey. So we are hope to not be sneezing or coughing too much on the stream, but if we do, apologies.
Sorry.
Apologies. That being said, though, Elio, as you put on this cloudy shield krota, for lack of a better term, amulet, you feel wellness. Alaron, Callie, Elio, could you all please make perception checks for me, please?
Yes. 8.
12.
Mighty 1 for Elio. Cool. Callie, you and Rimpy sort of are like basically this place seems like maybe where they were. It's like a trash dump or a midden heap, like where like the trout folk have probably been throwing away just refuse, so it has a sort of a trashy, stinky scent, anyways. But that's sort of been now, sort of overpowered, as it were, by the death smell. You find, as such, you find some like broken things in here, like shells, and it looks like a lot of like tools that were broken that were made out of seashells, like shovels or pans, stuff like that. But nothing really useful to you. There is one necklace that hasn't been claimed yet. If that's something you're interested in, is there anything you'd like to do?
So I think Alaron should wear the necklace because he has Cloudy Shield Crota's blessing, so I think he might be the chosen wearer of one of these. I'll offer it to him.
I'll put it on Callie's behest, but I'm also wearing a magical cloak.
Ooh.
You are. You can wear a cloak. You can wear a cloak and an amulet at the same time, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I definitely put on an amulet.
Yeah. You can have something around your neck and around your shoulders.
Looks nice.
So that's cool. But remember, you can't be attuned to more than 3 items. That's the only caveat. But some items don't need you to be attuned to them. And this one, Alaron, as you put it on, it does seem to react or interact with you in a much different way. The sea glass that it's made out of immediately begins to glow with an inner sort of steam fire. It's sort of a white fire. Or a cream, sort of a frothy, sort of almost like sea spray fire, if that makes any sense.
That's cool.
And you, Alaron, you are your shell begins to feel a little differently, and you can all see that on the shell, the rune that it is in it, that was on it, has always been on it, begins to glow with that same sort of frothy white power. Or white energy, rather. Sort of this frothy energy is sort of coming out of the rune and sort of oozing into the air, or sparking into the air a bit. And Alaron, you realize immediately 2 things. One, that the light coming off of this thing is gleaming into a deeper sort of hole in one of the coral walls. and you're seeing something glinting in there, almost like a gem or something like that. And it's glinting like a cut stone, like you see a cut surface. And the second thing you realize is that this thing basically identifies itself to you. It feels very comfortable wearing this, like you should be wearing this. It feels very natural to you. You will realize immediately that this gives you a swim speed, that you can swim by wearing this. You have a swim speed of 30 wearing this. Additionally, you realize that this amulet is specifically created to keep the priests and holy people of Clougy Shieldcrota healthy, or followers even, and that you will never be susceptible to disease by wearing this amulet. It is almost like an amulet of health.
Nice.
An amulet of vitality, of wellness.
I'm a warrior of Kralta.
Yeah, you've definitely feel a surge of energy. You guys have definitely been resting. You feel your spells and your vitality coming back. But yeah, there is that glinting in the wall.
I'm gonna point my wand at that glinting and say, "Revelations."
Awesome. I assume Alaron sort of points it out to everybody, and you're definitely able to say revelations, Elio. And you do now see that you couldn't see it before because it's a little too high. When you first came in, you were looking down. You weren't really looking up. But now you look up and you can definitely see just very faintly, there is a glimmer of a magical outline of something. It seems that the coral was blocking the aura from your sight before. And
Kelly, can you use your magic to get it down from there?
The hand goes up.
What does the mage hand look like?
It is sort of like green tinted, almost like green glass also. That seems to be the way Callie's force type magic manifests.
Yeah. I'm going to put us back on our characters since we sort of know what the scene is.
Mm-hmm. So the green hand goes and plucks it from its hiding crevasse.
Indeed. And as it plucks it, it comes out, and you guys can see. Remember, you found the wand was wrapped in like oiled, like sort of leather. This is the same sort of thing where this gem, as it were, this item is being pulled out, and sort of moldy, disintegrating oiled leather is falling off of it in strips. Like this thing has been here a long, long time. And as you pull it out, you can see that it is made of sea glass as well. But the amulet, or rather the symbol, it's not. It is sort of an amulet as well. It's more of a necklace, I guess, or a talisman. The talisman is a geometric shape. It is a pyramidal shape, but it sort of has other sort of points coming out of it. So it almost looks like a 3D pointed star, or maybe some sort of sun shape, possibly. It definitely gives off that vibe that there are all these sort of trapezoidal points coming out of it at different angles. So it has a sort of a pyramidal structure, but a bunch of them sort of put together. And it definitely represents a sun or a star or something like that. And yeah, Elio, you recognize that immediately.
It looks like the sun.
I floated over to Elio.
I mean, a lot of things look like the sun. It's a common symbolic theme, but I want to look at it. I take off the other amulet and just kind of blindly hand it back towards Kelly as I look at this thing and like examine it closely.
Yeah,
I've got my wand up next to it. I'm just sort of like,
yeah. This your magical sight, the wand, is definitely helping you to understand this item. It is quite magical. You get the sense that it is more of a holy magic, a religious magic, and divine magic. And you definitely get the sense that this is a holy symbol of the sun, like that this is a sun holy symbol. It's very clear to you as you're looking at it.
a sign.
Yeah, definitely an omen that either those of your faith or other people who shared a similar faith to you have been down here before. Additionally, you start to realize exactly what this is, that this is a holy symbol of brightness, and that with this holy symbol, there are certain command words that you can say that will allow it to activate. And the command words are written on it in very finely wrought elvish runes, like up and down sort of the points of the star, if you will. And the command words that are associated seem to have 3 different powers that they can call forth. One of them is the sort of just almost a passive power. You get the sense that this gem of brightness, or rather this holy symbol of brightness, has a number of charges associated with it. 50 charges, in fact, associated with it. You also get the sense that this holy symbol is a gem. Like this, it looks like it was a diamond at one point or something like that. And you think, or a sea glass, excuse me, it is a sea glass gem. But it's just of the finest quality that you think you could sell for quite a bunch of money, even if it weren't enchanted. Just throwing that out there. But you
I look at Callie suspiciously.
you definitely get the sense that the passive power, which wouldn't cost any charges, would be saying the command word illuminate, and 30 feet of bright light would illuminate from you, 30 feet of dim light thereafter. And you simply say deluminate to cancel that. You also know that if you say glimmer,
So every time I introduce myself, it's going to be just like strobe lighting.
illuminate, not the illuminator, illuminate.
So when I pronounce the final syllable, it turns off again. It's like, oops, sorry, went off to her. Illuminate or.
Indeed. You also can tell that for 1 charge, you'll be able to shoot a beam from the holy symbol. If you say the command word glimmer ray, and you can hit someone with this beam, you think if you are able to strike this person, they will be blinded.
Ooh.
Additionally, the final power takes 5 charges, and the command word is behold the sparkle. And if you say that, everyone within 30 feet of you might be blinded.
Elio's not interested in that, right?
That's quite illuminating.
It depends. Very well.
Well, you bring the sunlight with you, don't you?
I mean, yes. Have you met me?
You just got more bright. You just got more intense.
Yes.
I'm glad
Shall
we
become
found
even more difficult to look upon.
Do not look directly at Elio.
So, Callie, you should put that necklace on.
I put it on. Now we match.
Indeed, you are wearing the necklace of Klaugi Schildkröte, or the holy symbol, if you will. It is a magical item. It is a necklace of vitality, of wellness.
Yeah.
You gain you do not gain a swim speed, unfortunately, but what you do gain is immunity to disease, just like Alaron.
Yes.
Indeed.
I can just roll around in all the trash in here and
Yeah,
nothing will happen.
you and Rimpy are true trash compactors now.
I mean, you would still smell awful, and we would still have to deal with that.
Forced bathing. No.
Yeah, Callie's definitely gonna have to take a bath at some point. Oh, then again, we've been underwater for a long time.
Yeah, I basically got forcibly drowned for like 3 rounds last fight.
That too.
It's true that water elemental did us all a favor.
Rimpy's sparkling. He's just absolutely.
Now all we need to do is find a soap elemental, and we'll be set. So you say so with our rest complete and our new accessories.
Indeed. You guys have completed your long rest.
I think we determined that maybe those stairs down by number 10 are
Exactly
the most likely way to the Padishah's apparent portal.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Yep, that's the one.
Oh.
So, what is your party marching order as you guys leave the secret room?
I think Alaron's gonna take the lead.
Alaron takes the lead. And who's next?
I'll go in the middle as usual.
All right.
Bringing up
Callie
the
bringing up the
rear.
rear with Rimpy. The 4 of you are making your way forward. Elio is illuminating everything as per usual, making it a little bit difficult to sneak around. But you guys are trying to be as quiet as possible, even though, again, Elio has pretty uh, loud armor on, or not quiet armor on. As you guys are going down, though, it's getting darker and darker. So the illuminating is definitely helpful, but it is definitely getting darker. But then it seems to get lighter. But the light, the illumination is different, sort of. It seems almost like you're going into a room that has like black lights on or something like that. Everything seems very neon colored, very sort of the perspective is sort of switched, or rather the exposure is switched. If that makes any sense. Alaron, as you're moving forward, you're definitely recognizing the signs of sort of bioluminescent life up ahead. What would you like to do?
I continue to move as quietly as possible.
Cool. Make a stealth check for me, please.
Ooh, I think I may have succeeded on this one. That is a 23.
Nice. Yeah, you're definitely creeping down. How far ahead of Elio are you, if at all, if anything?
I'll be 10 feet ahead of him.
Okay,
I don't want
cool.
to be too far.
So there's a little bit of space between you two. Elio, only your head is illuminated currently, or your spear as well, or what else?
So I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna say my spear is illuminated, but I've got my cloak is kind of over so that it's narrowing the light that's cast.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to keep it pointed at Alaron.
Yeah. Cool. Got it. Yep. And the light coin that you guys had obviously is gone, since it's been about 8 hours since you have cast that.
Kelly and I can make more if we need to.
Indeed. But Alaron, you are creeping forward quite well. And you hear the sounds of creatures talking to each other. They're talking in a language that you don't understand. The language sounds to you like someone swishing their mouth with mouthwash. Like that's sort of the syllables and sounds. It's all. It's just a very weird language that's being spoken.
That's not how the trout folk talked, right?
No, they're more of a gobbledygooky. Yeah. No, it's not trout folk. You would recognize the language if not understand it, but yeah, it's not that. And as you're sort of creeping in, you can see more of the chamber now that you're sort of at the entryway to it. You can see indeed that it is a larger chamber. And it seems to be a well-appointed living space. It is very bioluminescent in here, with oranges and yellows, blues and purples. What things that jump out at you immediately in terms of furniture is there's a very large purple lobster tail that seems to have been scooped out, turned upside down, and turned into like a bed, like a really big bed. It looks like there's a bunch of lake weed has been gathered and dried and turned into some sort of mattress or something like that. And it's very nice, I guess, as the case may be. There's also, it looks to you like in sort of one corner of the room, there is a chest that seems to be made out of a large clamshell, like a giant clamshell. It is shut currently. However, lastly, what draws your attention is that it looks like the floor is all sort of like soft, squishy, almost like sea anemones. Like it sort of moves on its own a bit. It's a very sort of odd floor, and those sea anemones sort of go to the bottom of the walls and sort of go up a little bit, like halfway up the walls, but the rest of the walls are all stone or coral, though covered with sort of bioluminescent sort of fungi or different plants. And then there are also 5 creatures in this room. Those are the ones that are talking, or at least rather there's one talking and the other 4 are listening. The one that's talking is a creature unlike you've seen before. It's a small creature, about the size of Callie, though like desiccated, like it's like spindly, like it's a scarecrow or size, like its limbs and its body are just really, really thin. And it seems to actually be flying, like it's hovering above the ground. It is made entirely, it looks like, of like flowing sort of water encased in ice. The best way it has a really long nose, long chin. It doesn't have any hair or anything like that. It has long claws on its sort of larger hands that are sort of hanging down near its sides. It is a small creature, like I said, and it's just spitting this language at these trout folk who are looking up at it. There are four of them. They're looking up at it, and they seem to be sort of cowering a bit. And they are all sort of on the south side of the room near the exit across the way that you see. What would you like to do, Alaron?
I'm going to put my hand to my helm and activate it.
Cool. Awesome. What are you doing, Elio?
Thomas?
Oh, I think maybe we lost.
Sorry, I accidentally clicked something.
Okay.
Making sure this is attached properly.
No problem. We got you.
I will. I'm gonna, as Alaron stops moving, and as there is, you said bioluminescence, like towards these creatures.
Yeah.
I'm going to totally cover up my spear's light with my cloak, just to keep us somewhat hidden.
Cool. You should make a stealth check if you are continuing to move forward.
I'm not moving. I stopped.
Oh, you stopped moving. Okay, cool.
When Alaron stopped, I stopped.
Okay, got it. And Callie, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try to kind of stealthily sneeze. No, approach.
Then you should make a stealth check as well as you're approaching.
Ugh, I just passed my contract for a sneeze, guys.
Yeah, well done. Well done.
I got an 18, so I'm gonna try to creep kind of up behind Alaron.
Yeah, you definitely are able to creep past Elio up near Alaron and able to see everything that I mentioned, though a little dimmer because you don't have dark vision. It is sort of dimmer light in here, so you're seeing more silhouettes rather than sharp sort of details, but you can make out the general gist of everything that I had mentioned. Alaron, you can understand what's being said, but Elio and Callie, I think you should both make insight checks for me, please.
Insight. 7.
7.
A
lemon. Oh, you know the rule. Our secret house rule, our stream rule that everybody knows. If you roll an 11 and an 11, you can choose to succeed. But if you choose to succeed, your next roll, whatever it is, will be at disadvantage. What do you think, Thomas?
In this particular situation, I will fail this one.
You choose to fail. Very well.
Trusting the others to take point.
Very well.
If it's a fight, I don't want to be at disadvantage.
Good call. Both you and Callie are not really able to understand what's being said or the gist of it. It just sounds like a lot of shouting. It's loud. Alaron, as you sort of use your magical helm of comprehend languages, the front of it sort of shimmers and ripples for a second as it becomes translucent, and you can sort of see your face a little bit more, and then it sort of becomes just burnished sort of just smooth metal and over your eyes. You can understand what this creature is saying. It seems to be talking with sort of a watery sort of accent, as if it's maybe speaking the language of water creatures, maybe perhaps an elemental tongue, and it is saying the ritual is almost complete. Guard Crusher's room here, and I will make sure that our companions complete the ritual. You will be well rewarded. Our followers are dying, but you four, with your bows and arrows, you will protect us, and use the horns to let us know if anyone's coming. But and everything within that chest, Crusher said, will be yours if you keep the ritual safe. For our Lord, the Padishah, is soon to arrive. Only minutes away. And go ahead, Alaron.
With that, I leap straight into the fray and I dive right for the archers.
Okay, sweet. Let's all roll initiative.
Oh shit. Cool.
Nicely done. Okay. Very good. Very good. What did you get, Alaron?
I got a 19.
Nice. And Callie?
16.
And Elio.
2.
Mighty 2 for Elio.
That's
Okay, Alaron, you do go first. And you're just
Taking the disadvantage.
rushing forward, is that right?
Correct.
Cool. I would need you to make an acrobatics check as you're rushing forward, as the sort of the suction cups of the sea anemones are trying to like suck your feet, basically. So it's difficult to rush across this ground.
I got a 15.
That's definitely good enough. You are fleet on your feet as you're able to dance and dodge the sea anemones. They do feel like they're sucking at your feet, but you're able to rip your limbs away as you make your way quickly across the room. You can definitely double move to reach them, but you can't reach them in a single move.
Then double move I do.
And you do. Are you going for the archers or the ice sprite, if for lack of a better term?
I'm going for the archers.
Okay, very good. And you are definitely able to reach one of them. It is your turn, Callie. What would you like to do? The surprise round.
I'm going to run after Alaron, and I will use my cunning action to move again so that I can be in melee with hopefully reaching the archer.
Go ahead and make an acrobatics check, as the sea anemones are also trying to suck your feet.
Not my feet. Ooh, natural 19, so that's a 27.
Ooh, nicely done. Yeah, you two are it's you're just on your tippy toes. And Rimpy too. So almost doing like cartwheels on his like sort of pig hooves.
He's well trained. So.
Yeah, he's very well. You guys, I think, do acts together at this point. You know, it's acrobatic acts.
Definitely.
And and you're easily able to dodge your way through the anemones and make your way over to the trout folk. Are you heading for a trout folk or for the ice sprite?
I think the same trout folk that Alaron's attacking, because I'd like to use my action to attack that one if possible.
Make your attack, please. You
Okay.
will technically have advantage because they are surprised by you. They didn't know that you were there. So you'll get sneak attack no matter what.
So that's a pretty high. That's a 26.
That will be a success. How much damage do you do?
Let's find out. So that's
So excited.
6, 7, 8, 14 piercing.
14 piercing. Yeah, you're you're using your dagger, I take it?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, you just gut this creature as its entrails just spill out of its belly like fish entrails, and the stink of bile reaches your noses as it collapses immediately to the ground. It is your turn, Elio. What would you like to do?
All right. I'm going to move towards the group.
Yep.
Making my mighty acrobatics check. Let's see. That's a 5.
Yeah,
I think I slowed.
it is a difficult terrain for you.
Yeah, so I get what?
You'd only get about
15
15 feet or so into the chamber. That's right.
Okay. I am then going to conjure a ball of burning fire and hurl it at the flying icy creature.
Awesome. The squares, just to let everybody know, are about 10 feet, so that's sort of the scale of the room. Elio, could you please make either an Arcana or Religion check for me, please? A Nature check would also be appropriate.
Let's try religion, since that's the one of those I actually have. That is a 21 total.
Whoa!
Nice.
Very good. You recognize this icy creature immediately. It is not a sprite of any kind, but it is not a fey creature at all. It is an elemental creature. You recognize it immediately as a vicious type of creature, capricious, sort of imp-like. They sometimes are mistaken for fae because of their sort of tricksterness. But this is a mephit, an ice mephit. You're able to tell. They definitely serve water creatures. They come from the plane of water. Sometimes demi-planes of ice as well. And they apparently are very dangerous because even in death, they can explode and kill their enemies.
Be careful, Aileron. That one might explode, I say as I attack it.
Awesome. Make your attack.
So yeah, this is the produce flame cantrip. That will be a 14 versus AC.
14 will be a success. How much damage do you do?
Okay. I think this is the first time I've used this one and hit, but it does the same damage as the other one, which is so this is going to be 7 fire damage to that creature.
Awesome. It seems like your flame does a lot more damage to this creature than it might normally, as basically it starts
That was my guess since it's made of ice.
Exactly. It's like, ah! And Aileron, it yells in that watery tongue that no one else understands. It says, kill the intruders! Aileron, it is your turn again. What would you like to do?
I'm going to do a whirlwind of slashes at all the trout folk, getting all 4.
One of them has gone down. Callie,
Oh, all 3. That's right.
Callie took down one of them.
You could also attack the mephit.
I will attack the mephit.
Okay, so you have 2 attacks right now. So who are you attacking?
First attacks will be on 2 fish trout folk.
Okay, go ahead and make your attacks on the trout folk.
Or any of them near Callie.
No, you basically, the 2 of you swarmed the one that was closest to you guys. The other 3 are sort of were a little further away. They weren't all like standing next to each other per se. They kind of were, so they're pretty close. But so Callie's sort of behind you.
Okay, well then I'll just get my first 2 attacks. Oops, off it's a 15 AC.
That's a hit.
And a 10 AC.
10 is a miss.
Okay, so I got 1 hit. I do 9 damage. 9 slashing, piercing.
Bloody him as you plunge your rapier right into the trout folk.
And so you're saying there's no other trout folk near me other than these 2?
That's right. The third one is a little further away.
Well then, I'm going to accent surge.
Oh, doctor.
And I'm going to continue at the one that I bloodied.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, it's 18 on the die.
That's a hit. How much damage do you do?
Another 9.
Describe.
I just definitely swing my blade and then pierce his skull and then drop it.
Yeah. Trout folk goes down.
And my last attack, I'm going to attack the one that I missed.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 21.
That's a success. How much damage do you do?
Nice. That is 15 damage.
Yeah, you take that one out too. As you basically plunge your rapier into one skull and then come back up and plunge your rapier in the other one skull, coming in through its lower jaw. There's only 1 trout folk left, and the ice mephit. Callie, it is not your turn. It is the archer, the lone archer's turn, as he fires his arrows at you, Aileron.
Mind you, I have a beautiful shield that shimmers when the arrows are coming at me.
That is amazing because I rolled a 20. What is your armor class with the shield?
With the shield, my armor class is a 21.
That's really funny because with the 20, I get a 22 on the. That's my roll.
Can I turn this into a not crit by deflecting part of it?
I like that. Yeah, you totally can turn into a not crit as you throw up your unicorn shield. The shield has a unicorn on it that seems to be having arrows being shot at the unicorn, though none can hit it. And indeed, you throw your arrow blocking shield up into the way right at the last moment before this arrow sort of strikes you in the neck, and you'll take 2 points of damage as it instead ricochets and just sort of cuts your cheek.
When I block the blow, I laugh at the creature.
Awesome. The Callie, it's your turn.
I'm gonna flip my dagger so I'm holding the blade, and I'm gonna make eye contact with this trout folk, and then turn around and whip the dagger right at the Mephit.
Nice.
Misdirection.
That's a 15.
15 success. How much damage do you do?
7.
7 damages. Very nice. You bloody the creature with that, as basically your dagger pounds into its chest, and then when it disappears and reappears in your hand, there's a hole left and water just starts spurting out, and it's sort of crying out in pain. It looks at you, Callie, and Alaron, and screeches, rears back, opens its mouth. It sort of distends open, and just this cone of ice explodes forward.
No.
And you both need to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Oh no. Save for sneeze. 11.
11.
Lemon.
I'm gonna take that lemon.
What'd you get, Alaron?
I got a 15.
15. Yes. All right, Callie. You take the 11 and save. You both do, as you both take 2 cold damage on a save. And it flies away to the south as quickly as its little wings will take it, as it's sort of shouting.
No.
How far does it get?
It gets into the hallway. It gets out of the room, but you can still hear it pretty close by. It doesn't get that close. You, unfortunately, Elio, are probably about 40 feet or so away
I know
from the
I'm
exit,
probably out of range of anything.
but it is your turn, Elio.
I mean, I could blindly throw a fireball down the hall, but that seems like a little bit of a waste. We don't want it giving us away, though. There's one trout folk left, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to keep kind of marching forward as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try to power through with an athletics check, or is it only acrobatics?
You can definitely try and kick stuff out of the way. Yeah, you can try and power through. Sure, go ahead and make
At least
that.
that's something. It's an 11 total, so maybe not.
Oh, yeah. Would you like to fail or 16?
Oh, no, I'll fail. I'll keep moving slowly.
Yeah, you're moving pretty slow, so you only.
But I will use the Sacred Flame on this trout folk after my move.
Failure. How much damage does your Sacred Flame do?
So that is 11 damage of the Radiant variety.
Yeah, you hurl the Sacred Flame, and it basically hits at its feet, and then it just goes up like it was dry or something like that. The trout folk just start shriveling and shrieking as the Sacred Flame engulfs it, and its charred corpse falls to the ground.
Imagine it's sort of a Looney Tunes situation where it just poof, and then it's all blackened except for its 2 blinking eyes, and then it falls over backwards.
Exactly. Alaron, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
How far did Mephit get?
About 30 feet.
So I can make it if I make a good acrobatics check.
That's right.
I'm going to chase it down.
Go ahead and make your acrobatics check.
Oh, man. This is a 12.
Not enough, unfortunately, as the sea and enemies sort of stick to your feet, and you are slowed, or rather, you are in difficult terrain.
I'm going to drop my blade and draw my crossbow out.
Cool.
My light crossbow, and I'm going to shoot at the Mephit.
Go ahead. You can get a shot.
That's a 14.
Success. How much damage?
Nice. That's 5 damage.
Cool. It ricochets off its head, cracking it, but it still is sort of wobbling as it's flying. Callie, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I am going to try to get closer to it with acrobatics.
Okay, go ahead and make your acrobatics check as you rush ahead.
Got a nice 25.
You're definitely able to get to it with a cunning action, if that's what you'd like to do.
Yes, I want to get as close to it as possible.
Yeah, you can get right next to it.
Is it within range for me to attack with a melee attack, or is it floating too high above the ground?
You could attack with a melee attack. It is not flying too high above the ground. That's
what I'll do then. I'll leverage my dagger and stab up at it.
Go ahead and make your attack.
That's a 1.
That is a miss, unfortunately. It is its turn, and it will turn on you, Callie, and attempt to claw your face off. Hitting armor class of 17, which will claw your face off.
Nah.
As you take 5 points of damage, 3 slashing and 2 cold.
I'm gonna
Just sort of cuts across your face with its claws.
dodge. So I take half.
Okay,
of that.
you only take 2 damage. Well, technically you take 1 damage and then 2 cold, so you take 3 damage. Cool. So 3 instead of 5. Yeah, you definitely uncanny dodge it. And Elio, it's your go.
Okay. I am going to keep wading towards it. I'll make an athletics check.
Yeah,
That
go
is a
ahead.
12, which I think isn't good enough.
Unfortunately not.
But can I Sacred Flame it? It's got like 120-foot range on that thing.
You can't see it. That's the only
Oh, I can't see it from here. I
you haven't been
realize
able
what
to get
angle
around the
is like.
corner.
In that case, I'll just keep moving towards it. Do I make a different check or do I use the same one?
You can make a different check to see if you can get further on as you're dashing.
Okay, I'll do that. This one's a 19.
Yeah, you definitely plow through with that one, and you're able to get to the corner.
Can I see it now?
Yes.
Okay, I think I have something I can do as a bonus action.
Okay.
Let me just double check real quick.
Yeah, you guys are all rushing forward through the bioluminescent chamber. Like I said, there are sort of shiny things all around. The bed that's made out of a lobster tail, the big chest that's made out of a clam shell. You guys remember, or at least Alaron remembers, the Mephit promising the trout folk what it was ever in that chest. They did well. What do you think?
How bad off does this method look? Is it like...
It's bloodied for sure. It's like water's pouring out of it. It's icy shells cracked in different places. It just seems bothered and very hyperactive, like it's worried it's going to die soon.
All right. So as a bonus action, I will cast a spiritual weapon.
Ooh, okay. Make your spiritual weapon attack.
And a glimmering spear of fire appears in front of it and lances towards it.
Indeed.
So this is a sorry, don't remember my...
It should be it should be your magic attack, basically.
So that is a 17 total.
Success. How much damage do you do?
I deal 6 points of damage.
Awesome.
Force damage.
It shatters the Mephit.
Sorry, Callie.
Callie, you are directly next to the Mephit. You need to make a dexterity saving throw as it explodes in glass.
Dexterity, you're fine.
Yeah, it explodes in like ice shards.
I got a 22.
Nice. You take 2 points of ice damage, cold damage, as one of the ice shards sort of cuts past you. But you're able to sort of throw your body and spin out of the way as the magical holy weapon, this bright spear, smashes right into it, and then just sort of floats there next to you. But the Mephit, as it explodes in ice, it tinkles all over the ground and the walls, and then there's silence.
Good job, Elio.
Nice shot.
I sort of give a thumbs up as I continue to kind of squirm my way through these anemones.
I want to run back in the room, and Rimpy would like to test the quality of the bed.
Yeah, cool. Rimpy gets up on the bed.
All right. As Kelly moves past me, I'm going to just cast a Cure Wounds on her.
Okay.
I'm like,
repair some of that damage she's taken. Oh, that's an 8 on the die, so that's 11 healing points to Lemon.
I feel
lemon
so much
healing
better.
That is great. Well done.
So I have the lemon juice, but Elio has all the lemons.
True.
That's awesome. Cool. So yeah, the brightness of Elio's light. And Elio, you still have the spear. It's floating next to you. Your spiritual weapon remains for as long as you want to concentrate on it.
Well, it's actually not a concentration spell. It just lasts for 1 minute.
Excuse me. So it's hanging out next to you.
So it's just going to hover there for, another 40 seconds or so.
Alaron, anything you want to do?
I'm going to tell everyone, especially Callie, there's treasure over here.
Be like, quick, we don't have time. Yes, we do. For treasure. Yes, we do.
Always have time for treasure. I'm going to pick up my weapon. Actually, no, I forgot to tell you, Callie. That conversation they're having, the ritual's almost done. Let's not take a rest. Let's go stop this from happening.
Yeah. I kick the treasure chest.
So a few things are going on. Rimpy is getting on the bed and chesting it out, and it's quite good. as a matter of fact.
Ooh.
The other thing that you're starting to realize is that this bed is not for a medium-sized humanoid. It's for a large-sized humanoid. That it seems that this bed has been constructed for quite a large creature. And you remember the tales you've heard of the leader of the trout folk down here, these twisted trout folk, a creature that goes by the moniker of Crusher, apparently. And that might be a little concerning to you. As you kick the chest, um, you hear inside what sounds like a bunch of dice moving together or something like that, or more to the point to your trained eye, the sound of tons of gems tinkling against each other.
Gems are in here. Yep.
We'll get them on the way out. We already have a bunch of gems.
Callie, you need to pick up Rimpleton. I don't. We need to hurry, and I'm not usually one to tell you to hurry, but we need to go. This treasure has to wait.
Okay. I'll float Rimpleton to me with my hand as we run towards the door.
Cool.
Around this point, I'm kind of pulling myself out of the anemones, finally having made it through to the other side. Shaking them off my like, oh, these things.
Indeed. Your group continues to keep your eye on the prize and move forward. Do you keep the same party marching order?
I would like to.
All right.
Sure.
Awesome. Cool beans. So you guys start to make your way forward. And
as the spear dissipates, it sort of
does.
slowly turns from a bright white to just yellow and orange and red like a setting sun, and then vanishes slowly as if it's kind of folding in on itself like a sun setting behind the horizon.
Nice. Cool. Yeah. As you guys move forward, you're definitely starting to hear the burbling chants, very low and faint at first, but getting stronger, of trout folk voices. There's also a sort of a charge in the air of energy as you're approaching. You definitely get the feeling that you are nearing energy and something that's happening that is changing the very sort of rules of the universe. There is just this anxiety in the air, a sort of a charge indeed. And as Alaron, you're moving forward.
Before we get too far, I'm going to cast Aid before I forget. I should have done that this morning. Everyone gets 5 temporary hit points. Sorry.
Oh,
that's totally fine. Can you please describe for us what your magic looks like and what's happening and how you're preparing about to go into this very dangerous situation?
Yes. So I am uncharacteristically whispering these prayers to myself as I say, "Oh holy sun, let your light shine down into this dimmest, darkest corner, and protect us," as this soft glow emanates from the holy symbol now lying on my chest. And as I think we established before, the Aid spell kind of settles over your skin like warmth and gives you a slight nice tan.
That's right.
You get 5 temporary hit points.
And your group gets to the end of the pretty short hallway as you start to see the chamber open up in front of you. Revealed is an incredibly large portal that seems to be tearing its way through just the fabric of reality. You guys can see that this large natural cavern is made up of sort of red and white whorls of stone. But in the middle of the other side of the chamber also seems to have natural tiers on it that almost have natural ramps that can go up on either side of it. There are, in fact, that is where the trout folk have positioned themselves. They're holding up these sort of crystals that are gleaming with watery light. They seem to be made out of sea glass. As this energy is sort of floating and making this portal sort of become a reality. Floating in front of the portal is a ghostly figure, larger than life, not a large, but a gigantic gargantuan creature. And it looks very much like this. The Potty Shah is revealed, and as your group sort of comes in, the Potty Shah's spirit points at you and sort of goes, "Oh!" You can see that a large, watery trident of ghostly energy begins to form in its very hands. Whoops. And as you guys are looking around, you can see that, as I mentioned, the Potty Shah is near the portal. We'll get that situated. And also in this room are more trout folk, as well as two other creatures, or three rather. One that you recognize and one that you don't. One is definitely Hari, the water genasi, half water elemental sorcerer who you have made friends with. He seems to be nearby a four-armed trout folk, a large one who you can obviously tell is probably the leader of these twisted creatures, the Crusher themselves. They're standing head and shoulders above any other creature in here. They have almost like a shark's tail, fins coming off of their arms and their head. They have a large mouth full of teeth, claws, and it also looks like that they have sort of their own trident strapped to their back. You guys can also see that there is another ice method in here that's sort of floating around the Potty Shah's spectral form and sort of like poking it, like trying to see where it's becoming more or less solid. But it's obvious that they have sort of caught sight of you, and we should all roll initiative.
Yes.
Yay, yay.
Oh, he looks cool.
Ooh. The fight.
Indeed. Indeed, indeed, my friends. We are here. Indeed. And Hari is obviously sort of there as well, seemingly giving you guys like the secret thumbs up, like it's definitely on, as it were. What did you get, Elio, for your initiative?
This time, I got this many.
Ooh.
All right.
One of these rolls will be too many to hold on one hand, but that is not today.
And what did you get, Callie?
A 6.
Nice.
Okay.
And how about for you then, Alaron?
23.
Wow, nicely done.
I rolled a natural 20.
I rolled a
So
natural
we'll probably go together.
1.
It's just we'll go at the end and you'll be at the beginning.
Yeah.
Indeed.
We're flanking them.
You are at the beginning, Alaron. What would you like to
Poorly flanking.
do?
How far am I from the action?
Okay, so that's a great question. You're at the front of the group. You came into the chamber. It's a pretty long chamber. There are tiers on either side of you. The portal is all the way at the other end of the chamber. The ghostly form of the Potty Shah is manifesting out of the portal and in front of it. They are, I would say, a good, I want to say probably about like 70 feet away from you. That's where the ice method is as well. Crusher and Hari are probably half that distance, so they're probably about 35 feet away from you. And then there are 3 trout folk ritual casters. They seem to be priests. They're wearing the frog face necklaces you now recognize to be the Potty Shah's face. And they are holding these crystals, though they are probably in between the two of them, those two groups. So 35 feet. So they're probably about 55 feet away from you or so.
And does it seem like their chanting is still continuing to bring a Potty Shah? Or is a Potty Shah here?
Continuing to bring. The Potty Shah is spectral, see-through. They haven't fully manifested.
Then I'm going to run forward with my shield and crossbow drawn, and I'm going to start trying to fire off at those praying fishermen.
Awesome, totally. Go ahead and make your attack.
Do I get 2 attacks for every attack?
Crossbows, you can't do 2 attacks unless you have a special feat, unfortunately. Only with bows can you make 2 attacks.
Well, then I'm going to make 1 attack at one of these trout folk.
Got it.
I got an 18.
That's totally a success. How much damage do you do?
I do 9 damage.
Very
Thunk.
good. Thunk. Yeah, totally strikes into it. You can see that the trout folk, the crystals that they're holding, there seems to be like either water coming in or out of them, but the water is like covering their entire bodies, almost like some sort of spectral or spiritual armor or something like that, some sort of divine or rather profane armor. It is Hari's turn. Hari sort of backs up, and as he does, he he backs up away from the Padishah, turns towards all of you and rushes you, pulling out a dagger like he's getting ready to throw it at you, Alaron. But right at the last moment,
I go, oh no!
right at the last moment, indeed, his whole body liquefies, turns into a puddle of water that races across the floor, and then he reemerges and resolidifies out of it next to you, Elio, as he uses magic to teleport himself away from his previous companions. And next to you, he gives a nod and he says, I you took so long. I didn't know if you were still coming. And he points at the crusher, and a beam of frozen energy fires from his hand, hitting the crusher right in the shoulder. And the crusher totally bellows. And one other thing I want to mention about the crusher at this point that isn't represented in the images here, the crusher is wearing a crown made of emerald on its head.
Ooh.
Throwing that out there. Awesome. Hari is with you. It is the crusher's turn, though. The crusher is pissed off as fuck and starts rushing forward towards you guys. He throws his trident at you, Alaron.
Oh no.
Oh, yes. And he will hit an armor class of 19, right on the money.
Does the shield protect from thrown tridents?
It does when I want it to, and I want it to right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you knock it aside as you use your reaction, and he growls. He's only about 5 feet away from you, actually. He runs forward, but he's like looming huge. His forearms are stretching out, and he's just sort of crouching down. And it's obvious that he's roaring at you. And he says in broken common, he says to you, my people will reign supreme. We will rise. Go to the above ground world. The Padishah will lead us.
Your people died today.
That was actually very good common.
Yeah.
It wasn't broken at all. It was perfectly.
Fair enough. Callie, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna try to slip around behind the crusher and stab him in the back.
Okay. That'll take a cunning action, but you can definitely move twice
Yes.
and get near to him.
I'll go wide. And
Go ahead
then
and make your attack.
do I have advantage?
He seems to be wearing. You don't have advantage, but you do have. You'll get sneak attack if you
Sneak
strike.
attack.
Power of friendship.
Indeed. And you can see as you're rushing forward, Alaron, you're wounded, I take it, right?
Barely.
And Callie, are you wounded as well?
Not anymore.
No, you're at full hit points?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So, Alaron, Callie, you both noticed that the Crusher is wearing like almost like a breastplate that's made out of overlapping. It looks to you like a clam and crab shell. It's not very well made, but good enough to block your blows or some of the strongest blows. He also has the emerald crown on, like I mentioned. There's the trident. You can also see, though, excuse me, that he seems to be like his teeth and his mouth is just peeling backwards. And you can see rows upon rows upon rows of teeth, like he has shark teeth. It's almost like he's been mutated or something like that, or infused with some sort of extra power. But he definitely seems to be drawn to you, Alaron, and your wound. as he is smelling it and saying, "Your blood! I must have your blood!"
Come and try and take it.
Like, this is the grossest one. I'm gonna stab him first.
Go ahead and make your attack, Jolly.
Oh no, it's only a 13.
13 is no good, my friend.
No.
As your dagger ricochets off of one of the clamshells in his armor. Elio, it is your turn.
All right. I am just going to point my finger and my spear right towards the center of the group of chanting trout folk and launch a fireball.
So, to explain, there are spears. There's 2 on one side and 1 on the other.
Okay. So. Are there any other enemies near to any of them?
I would say that you could place it and sort of get probably the ice method and the potty shaw as well. You could probably sort of get them at the outer edge if you're throwing a fireball.
Okay, so yeah, I'd like to try to catch as many of the above in the fireball as I can.
Okay, totally. What's your save?
The save is 14 on the reflex saving throw.
The method makes it, but both of the trout folk do not. How much damage do you do?
Let's roll some dice. So, bang. Okay. So, let's see. 20.
A key of energy shoots from Elio's hand as it streaks towards the arcane casting trout folk. They have these crystals in their hands, as well as the ice method, who's sort of fluttering around the potty shaw's spectral form. And how much damage do you do?
36 to those who failed. I rolled a lot of 5s and 6s.
Whoa! You completely immolate both of the trout folk rather. The trout folk are totally immolated as their crystals just explode. The potty shaw roars in pain. The ice method itself, you did 36. You said
the ice 36. If you succeeded, you only take 18.
Yeah, but the ice method takes double damage,
right?
And even if it saves, and it only has 36 hit points, so it explodes as well.
Nice job, Helio.
Clear, but all of them. Nice. The potty shaw roars.
I just sort of looked down to my new holy symbol, like, wow.
Nice.
I didn't know I could do that.
The potty shaw roars, and with its spectral trident, points at you as a spiritual, or rather a magical incarnation of this trident fires right at you. Additionally, the last remaining trout folk arcane caster it also points at you, and you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, is this for the trident or for the other thing?
The other thing.
Okay. Dexterity, you said?
Yes.
That's only a 10.
Okay, then. With a 10, you'll take 10. You'll take 10 cold damage as the energy firing out of the crystal that the trout folk arcanist is holding fires into you. Then the trident shoots at you, hitting an armor class of 25.
Wow, I'm gonna try to warding flare that, but
okay.
I'm not.
That's a 22 then.
It still hits.
You'll take 13 force damage as this thing strikes right into you. The potty shaw's spirit, though, is obviously wavering. The trout folk, the last remaining one, runs forward towards the portal. And it is your turn, Alaron. What would you like to do?
How far is he from me now?
Who is he?
Oh, sorry, the last remaining trout folk.
The last remaining trout folk would be from you about 35 feet.
Cool.
The crusher is right next to you. Or not next to you. He is 5 feet away from you.
I shove the crusher a little bit with my shield, and I aim my crossbow at the last remaining trout folk.
Cool. Go ahead and make your attack.
That's a 19.
That is a success. How much damage do you do?
5 damage.
5 damage. Awesome. Yeah, your crossbow bolt totally sort of cuts his arm, but does not take him down. It is Hari's turn, and you can see that he fires another frost ray at the crusher, but it goes wide as Crusher ducks it. The Crusher then comes for you, Callie, since you're right next to him. Indeed. And he attempts to bite you, critting you. You, my friend, will be.
I'm going to use a warding flare to give him disadvantage on that one. If I can.
Yes.
If they're within 30 feet of me, I can.
I think you already used it on the.
That's right. This is.
Yeah.
Wait, is this the same turn though? Yes.
It is. Unfortunately,
Sorry.
That's okay. But good instinct. You try to reach out, but you're unable to, as you are crit, Callie, and you will take 13 points of damage as he bites into you. He then attempts to claw you twice, and is only able to hit you once with one of his claws.
Ooh, can I uncanny dodge his bite, by the way?
You can definitely uncanny dodge his bite, so you only take 6 points of damage, but you'll take 11 points as he claws you. So you take 17 in total as he's just tearing into you.
Well, to be fair, that critical bite did as much as a normal trident from the body shot. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Callie, remember you have 5 temps.
That's true.
Yes. Remember your
don't
temporary
forget that.
hit points.
But yeah, he seems to be clawing into you, and he seems to be going into some sort of blood frenzy now that you've been wounded and he can smell your blood.
Ugh.
Callie, disengage.
It's your turn, Callie.
Well, I am going to disengage with Crusher and try to streak forward and throw my dagger at the remaining trout folk.
Awesome. Go ahead and make your attack. Disengage, rush forward 30 feet, and throw.
So that's a 16. So
Cool. That is a success. How much damage do you do?
7 damage.
Okay, awesome. Your dagger returns to your hands. And it is Elio's turn.
So that trout folk is still up?
Yeah, definitely. The dagger didn't even stick into it. It just sort of cut its shin and then returned.
All right, give me a sec. Sorry. Spells
Okay.
that I haven't
The
used
body
yet.
shah is looking at all of you and sort of roaring and saying, "Agents of the dragon, I can smell your power. Do not seek to interfere in my plans."
By the power of Krauski Shieldcrawler, you will fall today. You will not take these lands.
Your master,
Okay.
his time is over, shelled one. It is now the time of the potty shah.
I'm like, smell this, and I hold up Rimpy, who is somehow filthy again.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to use I'm gonna move forward 30 feet towards the action.
Yep.
I'm gonna use a sacred flame on the trout folk.
So moving 30 feet will make you closer to Crusher. Just to let you know, you'll be.
Okay, I'm gonna stop while I'm still like 15 feet away from Crusher, with Alaron between me and Crusher.
Alaron sprinted past Crusher.
Oh, okay.
Alaron and Callie are now on the other side of Crusher.
Okay, I'm not gonna move any closer. I'm just gonna use sacred flame. It's got some range on it.
Yes. Yeah. Use Sacred Flame on the trout folk?
On the trout folk, yes.
Failure. How much damage do you do?
So that is, wow, dang, I'm rolling 15 radiant damage to that trout folk.
Ooh, nicely done.
We needed that.
Yeah, it tears through him, searing one of his eyes and face, but he holds on to the gem and points it right at you, Elio, as you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Is this a reaction or is this its turn?
It's turn.
Okay, I was going to use a healing word as well.
Okay, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm just going to shout a healing word at Callie as that's why I used the cantrip there.
Makes sense.
Thank
Since
you.
she got bit a bunch. That's only 4 damage, but hopefully it's something. All right, so sorry.
The light of Elio's brightness shines into you, Callie, as you feel warmth coursing.
Sorry, saving throw is what you need from me?
Dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay, dexterity saving throw. That is a crit.
Nicely done. Yeah, you totally dodge to the side as the beam of water misses you. You guys can see that 2 mephits flutter out from the portal, and sort of the potty shop sort of sort of throws them or guides them towards you guys. The potty shah then points his trident at you, Alaron, and hits an armor class of 20 twin.
20?
Yep.
I'm gonna block that.
Okay, you throw it. You throw up your shield, and as the spectral trident comes right at you, streaking at you, you throw up your unicorn shield, and it bursts upon it. The magic of your shield stopping the energy, but you're sort of blown back a feet or two. Just the power of this creature, indeed, is very concerning. But it is your turn, Alaron. What would you like to do?
I'm going to rush that last trout folk with my blade.
Cool.
Get him.
Awesome. To do so, you'll have to move underneath the potty shah.
I'm comfortable with that.
All right. He will attack you with his trident as you go by him. He hits an arm class of not enough.
Nice.
As you duck to the side.
Good fighter work.
Crowd key shield quilter will protect me, and I slash at the creature twice.
Indeed. I mean, what happens is that the spectral trident, just a ginormous trident, like sort of etches down your sort of shell on your back as it protects you, and just sort of sparks are emanating as you roll underneath the potty shah. What's the number on your first attack?
16.
16 is a success. How much damage do you do?
11. No.
11.
13.
13. Very good. You bloody the creature as you pierce into its body, and it just throws up some black ichor, coughs it up. What would you like to do?
My second attack.
Go ahead.
Oh, this one's probably not gonna miss.
Strike.
That's gonna be 11. Ooh, 11.
11 is not enough, but you know our rule here.
I want this thing dead. I want to hit it.
You succeed. You'll be at disadvantage at your next throw. Go ahead and tell me how much damage you do.
10 damage.
Nicely done. It is still up, but you are piercing it again and again and again. It is Hari's turn. He fires another bolt at the crusher, striking it right in the chest and seeming to sort of freeze its feet to the ground momentarily. But the crusher sort of pulls its feet out and sort of looks between Elio and Callie and Alaron, and Elio and Callie and Alaron, and rushes Elio, picking up its trident on the way. Elio, you're being attacked by a trident.
Yep.
It'll be an armor class of 25 to hit you.
I will try to wording flare that one.
Wording flare it, making it a 13 instead. Not enough. But
Yes.
second trident attack will be a 24, and you will take 11 points of damage. He then attempts to bite into you, getting an armor class of 18, which is enough.
Yeah.
And he bites into you for 9 points of damage, doing a grand total of 20.
Yes,
as
I am
The
not well
crusher
off.
falls upon you. Hari is next to you and yells out sort of a wordless cry of encouragement, almost like a battle cry, as he throws himself forward. It is your turn, Callie.
Oh man, I look between the the trout folk and Elio and the trout folk and Elio. I am going to try.
Take care of the trout folk.
Okay.
I've got this one.
I'm gonna scamper. I'm gonna try scamper underneath the giant spectral potty shah and charge at this trout folk.
Okay, cool. If you're using your cunning action to use a disengage action, you can easily move underneath the trout folk and get to the creature and make your attack.
That's what I'll do. I'll stick my tongue out at the potty shah as I go beneath him.
Yeah, and he's trying to basically. He just doesn't pay any attention to you. He seems to be way more focused on Alaron.
Oh no!
Especially now that the half shell on his back has been revealed.
Well, here I go. Attack time.
Make your attack.
Yes, I got a 27.
27 success. How much damage do you do?
Okay.
Callie.
19 damage.
19 damage is enough as you gut this creature, leaping up onto it. It sort of crumples over the gem in its hand and hits the ground. The gem, tink, 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 sort of rolls away from its corpse, but the energy continues to float up from the gem to the portal and the potty shaw. The other gems have been destroyed by the fireball that Elio threw, but this one continues to seem to have energy coursing through it. That would be the end of your turn, Callie, and it is Elio's turn. Elio, Crusher is directly in front of you.
I see that. I say to the DM. All right, I'm going to start out with a sacred flame in his face to try to distract him.
Got it?
Reflex save?
Succeeds.
Yeah. Well, and then I am going to cast Sanctuary upon myself.
Ooh.
As a bonus action.
Please describe for us what your magic looks like.
So the component for this is a silver mirror, which you may recall I've embedded mirror shards into my shield. So
That's
as
right.
the sacred flame bursts in front of me and dazzles him, reflecting off of my new holy symbol, it also reflects off of the shield, and the light kind of spreads off around the shield and forms this big bubble around Elio, kind of
Yes.
shimmering and shining like the sun.
So if anyone wants to attack you, they need to make a wisdom saving throw to even be able to do that, correct?
Yes, that is
That's
correct. The
right.
spell will end if I cast a spell that affects an enemy, or if I attack.
That's right. It is the trout folks' turn, but they don't exist anymore. The Mephits do, though, and one of them just flies down and picks up that gem. It isn't able to continue the ritual, but at least it's able to get the gem sort of away from you guys. The other Mephit sort of comes down and breathes its ice breath all over the two of you, Callie and Alaron. Go ahead and make Constitution saving throws.
Constitution.
Ooh, that's a 1. I fail.
I got a 9.
9 is also a fail. You both take 5 cold damage as icy shards are sort of embedding in your skin and you're just getting super chill.
How much damage?
5 cold damage.
Also, I'm at disadvantage for that attack. For that roll.
Yes you are. And it is the Potty Shaw's turn as he turns on you, Alaron, and just is thundering, "Agent of this dragon, you profane this place. Your master has no domain here." And he rolls a 24 to hit your armor class.
That definitely hits.
You will take 13 points of damage as the spectral huge trident just pierces into you. You feel the sort of the coldness of the elemental plane of water and ice, and you know that should the Potty Shaw take ownership of the Glimmer Lake, of the castle, that this place indeed will become a very cold area. It is your turn, Alaron.
I'm actually going to do something very unwise.
All right.
But I'm going to try. Oh wait, no, I'm with Callie, aren't I? No, I can't leave Callie. I'm actually gonna attack the Potty Shaw.
Oh yeah.
No.
Go ahead and make your attack. There's the Potty Shaw and the portal.
I rolled 2 attacks. One was a critical failure. The other one was an 11.
Wow, and a lemon.
I'm going to not take this one.
Okay, you don't succeed on this one, and as your rapier is you're sort of trying to, you're just not even, you're hitting the spiritual sort of, you know, if you see the image, you can see it. The Potty Shaw doesn't really have legs; they're just sort of more of a ghostly spirit, almost sort of like Snorri. But an old dwarf friend of yours that traveled with you some time ago, and your rapier is just not doing anything. You're penetrating, you're waving it through this form, this spectral form, almost like it's a ghost that doesn't even exist. It's just sort of in front of you, and the Potty Shaw laughs, which sort of shakes its rumble, shakes this area, and he says to you, "Your puny weapons cannot harm me, fool."
I say, Callie, disengage.
Destroy the crystal.
Do that too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You can do both. You can throw things.
I can.
Hari next to you, Elio, begins to wave his arms as tendrils of water sort of come out of the ground and start wrapping around the limbs and the legs of the crusher. And he says, I have him! I have him! I don't have him! As the crusher just goes, oh! And sort of busts out of all of these sort of watery tendrils as they turn into just drops and all over the ground, ruining the spell. But it is the crusher's turn. And he does attempt to pierce you with his trident. What is your save?
14. It's wisdom for this.
14. He rolled a 10 and has a +4 on his wisdom. So that is a 14. He is able to get through your sanctuary, and he crits you with his
I'm gonna
trident.
use my last warding flare on that
Warding
one.
flare! Oh, he rolls a 16 on the die. So not a crit, but a 16 for a 23 armor class. And he'll be doing 11 trident damage to you as he just plunges his trident into you.
I get knocked unconscious by that.
You are unconscious.
Oh.
He
No.
throws himself forward, trying to claw our good friend Hari to death, yelling, "Traitor! Traitor!" Hari, our good friend, takes some damage, but is still up. And it is your turn, Callie.
I am going to jump at this ice method and try and wrestle the crystal from its hands.
Okay, so there are two different ice methods. One flew down, grabbed the crystal, and then flew back up. The other one flew down and breathed in front of you guys. So it's only it's basically right in your face. It's sort of adjacent to both of you.
Can I try to snatch it from its hands with a mage hand?
Since you are an arcane trickster, yes, you can try that. So you want to try and use sleight of hand as you conjure your mage hand to pull the gem out of the ice mephit's hands. Is that correct?
Yes.
I don't think sleight of hand is going to be the correct roll here. I think it's actually going to be an athletics roll. I think that's more appropriate. But I will let you use your intelligence instead of your strength if you do have proficiency in athletics. You may use your strength, rather your intelligence modifier in place of your strength modifier.
Should I add my
if you don't have
proficiency
proficiency
bonus to this?
If you are proficient in athletics.
Oh,
Are
no,
you
I'm not.
proficient in athletics?
I'm not.
No. Then you can just use your intelligence modifier instead of your strength modifier for this roll.
Okay. I'm going to make my
That
roll.
makes sense?
Yes.
Then they will be making an opposed acrobatics check against you. And what'd you get?
7.
I got a 12. So you throw your mage hand forward, and sort of this invisible force grasps it from the flying mephit, who's about 30 feet above you, and the mephit is just going, no, mine, and it's just sort of like not letting go of it. What else would you like to do on your turn, if anything?
I can use my mage hand can be used as a bonus action as my cunning action.
I know that was your cunning action to do that.
So then I'm going to throw my dagger at the diamond or at the thing.
At the thing. Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
Icy shard thing.
Got
19.
19 is a success. How much damage do you do?
6.
6 damage. Awesome. Your magical dagger hits right into the icy gem that the mephit is holding. That the only arcane item that seems to keep this ritual alive, the magic that's flowing from the portal into the gem, projecting the Padishah's spirit out into the prime world. Your dagger hits right into it, cleaves a crack into it, and then is stuck. It does not reappear in your hands. It's stuck in the gem as the gem ices around it. But you can definitely tell that the gem almost was split in twain by your attack. You feel as if the gem is broken slightly, but your icy, or rather your dagger, has been coated in ice and stuck fast into the gem. Anything else you want to do on your?
No, that's it for me.
All right, it is your turn, Elio. Make a death save, please.
Say 9.
A 9. That is a failure. The mephit in front of you guys attempts to claw you, Callie. Not missing you. The one that has the gem continues to fly up and away as far up as it can get. The potty shaw attempts to pierce you, Alaron, hitting an armor class of 27.
Ooh,
You will take 13 points of damage, my friend.
I am bloodied.
Oh, as the potty shaw's spectral trident pierces you to the ground for a moment, and then you sort of heave your bulk back up. The potty shaw laughing. You have no power here. Clougy Shield Crota has no power here. It is your turn, Alaron.
And neither do you. And I take my crossbow and I aim it towards the gem.
All right, make your attack.
Ooh. Yes, it's a 21.
That's totally a success. How much damage do you do?
Oh, that's pretty good. 9 damage.
9 damages, indeed. The gem is hit. It explodes.
Yes.
The mephit who's holding it also explodes in the chain reaction. And the portal begins to just sort of like, it's almost like the energy stops being sucked out of it. The gem explodes, and it's almost like a transmission is being lost. The potty shaw's form is wavering and shimmering, and he's like, no, no! And he points at Hari and he says, your betrayal will not be forgotten! As the potty shaw is sucked into the portal, his form disappearing as he cries out in pain and frustration as he is defeated by the party. Well done. However, still remaining is the Crusher, as well as one mephit. And it is still Alaron's turn if there's anything you'd like to do. Else you'd like to do.
What action is it to put my weapon away?
It's basically just a free action. That's fine to put your weapon away.
Okay, then I'm going to pick up my rapier, and is that the end of my turn?
Basically, yeah. I mean, unless you're action surging or something like that. Yeah.
I'm not going to action surge, but I am going to scream to the Crusher, your master has been defeated. Step down and you may be shown mercy.
Cool. Awesome. You can definitely tell that the Crusher is like in a blood frenzy. They do not seem like they are interested in stepping down at all. It is Hari's turn. Hari throws himself on you, Elio, and takes one of your healing potions and pours it down your throat.
Yay!
Yay! You gain back 8 HP. The Crusher brings down his trident on Hari. And he brings down his trident on Hari again.
And he bites him.
And he does bite him, exactly. He does bite him. How did you know he was going to do that?
Hari!
No.
I'm sorry, Hari.
Sorry, Hari.
Hari is bloodied, but is still alive. As he's just he's bodily protecting you. His sort of watery blood is leaking onto you. It's sort of bluish, whitish, reddish, as he's just sort of coughing up on you. He's not wearing any armor. Remember, he only has sort of watery, magical armor protecting him, like a spiritual or arcane armor. He is a water sorcerer after all, but even that is not enough to protect him from the brutality of the Crusher. Callie, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I am going to dart across the room using my cunning action to move twice.
Did she get her dagger back when the thing explodes?
Yeah, did it come back?
It does not. It falls to the ground.
So in that case, I will take out my non-magical dagger.
Okay.
And fly across the room. And I'm going to yell, pick on someone smaller than your own size. And I'm going to jump at...
We're already smaller than him. He's very big.
Wait. Let's rewind for just a second, Callie. The dagger that it explodes, right? out of the gem, and it
Yes.
lands near you. It lands right near your feet, basically. Tink,
Oh,
tink,
okay.
tink.
I thought it
You
was like
can
way
grab
across
it.
the room.
No. It's quite near you. Remember, the creature basically just flew up from where you were.
Oh,
So
then
it lands near you. You grab it as you're rushing forward.
yes.
And as you say your phrase, pick on someone almost your own size, you take 5 points of cold damage. Because the dagger is so cold. It like a magical gem from the plane of water and ice. It was embedded in it for a moment or two, and then that gem exploded while the dagger was inside of it. You're seeing the dagger as you're examining it just out of the corner of your eye.
And a
as
method
you're
exploded
looking
on it, too.
forward. Indeed. A magical elemental exploded on it too. It's obvious to you that this dagger has been changed somehow. That part of the blade has been sort of like ripped out to make it sort of serrated, and it has this icy sheen on sort of the edge of it. And you get the sense as you're holding it that this dagger, it's changed somehow in the explosion. But it definitely did cold damage you or as you're holding it, but that goes away after a second. Just sort of like a jolt. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to race up behind Crusher thinking this is going to hurt you more than it hurt me. And attack with my interestingly new dagger.
Go ahead and make your attack. Hari is threatening him, so you'll get sneak attack if you. I guess Elio is as well.
Yep.
So you get sneak attack if you succeed.
Ha! Yes, I got a 19.
19 is totally a success. His armor class is a 16 with his crab shell breastplate on.
So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 16 damage and possibly some cold damage.
Cool. So indeed. So you do 16 damage. You don't seem to be doing any cold damage or any extra cold damage, but you do get the sense as the creature shivers that all the damage you're doing is cold damage. Like you're just doing cold damage now. Though who knows, maybe there's other stuff going on. But yeah, all that damage you just did effectively is cold damage.
Cool.
Nice.
That's it for me.
Awesome. It is the Crusher's turn, but not yet. It's Elio's turn.
Yeah, I was gonna say. All right. I get to my feet, so that I'm standing over Hari now.
Yeah.
And I sort of I hold up my shield, but I also kind of stick out my chest and I say, "Glimmer ray!" as a ray of light shoots Crusher.
Indeed, he makes a Constitution saving throw. The DC is 15 for your records.
Okay.
And he has a +6 to his Constitution
Yeah,
saving.
I thought this was an attack roll. Never mind.
It is not. It is a saving throw. I apologize for making that unclear. He has a +6 to his Constitution save. It's a 15 DC, but I only rolled a 6 on the die.
Ooh.
Nice.
I see you blind him with the light of the sun.
How long does that blind last for?
It is he can save at the end of every turn, but
Okay, but still.
until he saves. He is blinded.
So then, as a bonus action, I am going to cast a sanctuary on. Since Hari's on the ground and I'm standing over him, I feel like his blind swipes are more likely to attack me. So I am going to sanctuary myself.
You do. You
Just justifying it.
The light bubble once again surrounds you as the final ice method breathes on you, Alaron, with his icy breath. You can make a dexterity saving throw.
Interesting. I rolled a 11.
I'm sorry, it's a Constitution saving throw, or no, it's dexterity. I apologize. 11. You take 5 cold damage.
Well, no, it's an 11.
No, I'm gonna take 5 cold damage.
Yeah,
Okay.
take 5 cold damage. True.
Could take 2.
True. You could take 2 cold damage. But that's its turn, and it sort of is flying away from you as best as it can after that. It is your turn, Alaron.
I'm dashing towards Crusher.
Cool. Yeah, you get there.
I assume it takes 2 moves, right?
It does. As
Then
you rush across the cave floor. It's icy and cold here, but that coldness is sort of starting to dissipate. And so it's becoming a little bit more watery here and warmer, more humid as things are starting to sort of melt.
cool. That is the end of my turn. There's nothing I can do.
Okay. It is Hari's turn. Hari is on the ground, but he's going to get up and
Get away while he's blind.
and he takes a stab with his dagger, and he strikes him since he's blind, and then rushes away. The creature takes an attack of opportunity, though he is blind, so he's at disadvantage. Though he still is able to land a hit, unfortunately, on Hari with his strike. And Hari is exactly at his hit points as he falls unconscious, bleeding to death. Ah! Hari falls. It is not your turn. It's the Crusher's turn. Crusher turns on you, Alaron and Callie, and begins attacking you guys while blind. Callie, it will be a miss on you. Alaron will be a miss on you. He attempts to high or low, Callie.
Low.
Low. He fights Alaron, missing Alaron. He attempts to save, and he does save out of the blindness as he sort of blinks finally and can see all of you again, roaring his displeasure and pain. It is your turn, Callie. What would you like to do?
Gonna keep stabbing.
Go for it. Make your attack.
Dude.
He is bloodied. You're cold damage. He's sort of, the blood is pouring down his chest and his arms. He has 4 different arms that he's swinging around at this point, and trying to sort of claw you guys and bite you guys.
Got a 27.
27 totally success. Don't forget to do sneak attack damage.
So that's 11, 15, 16, 3.
Oh.
23 damage.
23 damage. Yeah, you think another hit like that would probably kill him as you basically leap up and plant your dagger, your magical cold dagger, in the back of his neck as he sort of arches his back and yells in pain. Elio, it is your turn.
Okay. I am going to. Which of these spells is the most useful at this juncture?
I start banging my shield as I'm getting the creature's attention.
I start whirling my spear around over and over again, and it sort of leaves a big fiery trail behind it, and so it kind of leaves after images of the spear, and I just start jabbing, and as I jab, scorching rays fire out of it.
Nice.
I'm going to use this at 3rd level, so I get 4 different rays.
Make your attacks, please.
Oh,
His
dang.
armor class is 16.
All right, so that is an 11. Ooh.
Ooh.
I'll make that hit.
Then your next attack is at this is it.
That one is, it would have been a crit, but my 2 rolls were a 20 and a 19 on the die.
Oh,
So it
nice.
is a hit.
Go ahead. Nice. 2 hits so far.
3rd one misses. 4th one hits. So 3 hits.
Nice. So fiery rays fire from your spear. 3 of them strike. How much damage do they do?
So 8, and 5.
Whoa.
21 fire damage is
Nice.
jabs of
Please
flame
describe
shoot
for
into
us how you defeat Crusher.
So after Callie kind of stabs in at his back, I imagine he wheels around to deal with her, and then as he raises his arms to kind of smash down at her, shaking the glimmering light out of his eyes, he kind of looks down in surprise as you see smoke coming from behind him, and this glow begins to rise in his chest, and then bolts of flame, one after the other, start shooting out from the front of him, and then he just slumps over and falls to the side, dead.
His smoking corpse hits the ground. You guys can see that Hari is still bleeding to death on the ground. What would you like to do, Alaron?
I've trained on how to resuscitate people in the past, and I'm going to try and resuscitate him right now.
Go ahead and make that medicine check. You can see, all of you that are conscious, that the mephit has flown as far up as it can. It's flying away towards the exit. It goes through the exit. It seems as if it's running away, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I only get a 7 on my medicine check.
You're not able to stabilize Hari, unfortunately, but his first save is a success. Callie, what would you like to do?
I mean, I'm gonna run over and also try to help, but I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna like slap him.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. This has sort of worked for you in the past, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your check.
I got a 6.
What'd you get?
A 6, sorry.
I'm sorry. What?
A 6.
6 is what she said.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I guess I'm not hearing you.
Yeah, her audio's cutting out.
Yeah.
Not sure.
All right. Cool. Well, that's unfortunately not enough. Elio, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, I'm just gonna walk over to him and cast Spare the Dying as I kind of
Yes,
side eye the other two. Just kind of, I
You
tap
stabilize.
my spear on the ground, and the light at the tip of it glows much more softly and gently, and I just sort of wave it over him like I'm, casting a blessing, and this expression on his face softens as he
Definitely.
stabilizes.
The Potty Shah has been defeated. You all have saved Hari. He is able to wake back up. You're able to get him back up on his feet. And the 4 of you return to the castle up above and to Glitter Dark.
We do loot Crusher's chest on the way back. I want to make
Of
that
course,
clear.
you
Yes.
have all the gems from Crusher's chest. Of course you do. This is what Glitter Dark sort of looks like as you arrive. He is by a fire, sort of waiting for you guys. And as you come in, he says, "Oh, I can tell something's changed below. Have you been able to get the incantation?"
We were able to do a lot of things.
We will return to Klaugi, but his problem has been dealt with.
You guys hear the voice of Klaugi Schildkröte, loud and trumpeting, bellowing, as you look out of the tower that you're in and you see the dragon turtle himself floating in the water outside the castle. He declares, "The lake has been cleared. You have been successful, my agent Alaron, and your friends. A bargain is a bargain, but no, the underwater is my domain. Perhaps we can make a bargain again in the future." And Alaron, you begin to unconsciously and without any control speak magical words. They just seem to spill out of your mouth. They are in the draconic tongue. They sort of have a sibilant sound to them. As you are
That's alliteration.
And thanks. As you are speaking these words, the runes on the large statue that you had collected previously begin to activate, and the eldritch machine itself that your friend Praeturo and Glitter Dark have been working on, Praeturo the elf that you remember, and Glitter Dark have been working on, and the eldritch machine begins to activate. Lights are illuminating all around you as the entire castle begins to shake and water begins to froth. The lake weed and the mud that's been covering it for centuries begins to break off and sort of vibrate off as you feel movement and shaking as the castle itself begins to violently shudder. And I need all of you to make strength saving throws, please.
2.
Mighty 2.
21.
21.
12? Yes.
12. Very good. Elio and Callie, you are thrown to your feet, as is everyone with you, Hari and Praeturo, but not Glitter Dark. He keeps his feet steady. The other thing that you notice is that Rimpleton stays steady as well because he is using a jade crown to help himself stabilize, that he then puts back on his head and sort of crosses his arms like he's sick. Water is pouring down everywhere. It's tough to see outside of the windows, but as the shaking continues, you're thrown to the ground except for Alaron and Glitter Dark. But you have this feeling of an immense pressure on you that suddenly gives way. And as you all sort of reorient yourselves, the castle stops shaking and gyrating. You feel the light of the sun on your faces. Fresh air coming in through the window as like just waterfalls are basically sloughing off the sides of the castle.
I remain lying on my back and just kind of basking in the sunlight as the others get up with this huge grin on my face, like, yes, finally. Oh, joyous day.
Rimpy starts doing a little bit of a jig dance, like around the crown. What are you doing?
So
Treat us with the solemnity it deserves, I beg you.
Callie, Ilio, Hari. We are the heroes of It Atrad Mel. We are the heroes of Sparkly Town Delight.
Ziganute too. He deserves a little bit of credit.
Yeah,
too,
where's Zig?
Ziganute and his people have not been seen, but you get the sense that they are safe in the tower that they had negotiated with you for. But what's going on with them, you're not exactly sure.
I slowly get up and dust myself off. Ah, yes. Good work, all. Could not have done it without your excellent help and guidance. Although we
Glitter
all
Dark
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say some religious fiddle faddle. Go ahead.
Glitter Dark does cut you off as he says, indeed, heroes of Id Othramel. And hopefully, very soon, heroes of Hammerfast.
Landlord of Idolthramel, I would point out,
And
removing my scroll case.
he nods at that and he says, we have much to discuss, for there is much danger that faces this region. You have proven yourselves great heroes, and there will be more for you to do in the region of Hammerfast. For now, enjoy this victory. We have returned to the above ground world thanks to your efforts, and there's much to do. With that, he takes out a previously hidden flask of dwarven whiskey and begins to pass it around, giving you guys a cheers.
Yes.
And with that, we'll end our session, our season, our chapter. Thank you all so much for watching, everyone. This will be our final session for a few weeks. We're taking a little bit of a break. Our 20th session is a great milestone. We hope you have enjoyed The Secrets of Hammerfast. Watch all the episodes, like, subscribe. Check me out, Ken Breeze. I'm Burling's Beard. Go to my website, hire me to be your dungeon master. But I just want to say thanks to Kelsey and Anthony and Thomas for being amazing players. And I want to thank all of you for sticking with us and watching for so far. This has been an amazing experience. So huzzah to everyone. Congratulations. And yeah, catch up with us again. We'll be in touch real soon. But for now, I'll turn it back over to my amazing players. Kelsey, thank you so much for everything that you've done and given to the stream. We love that you've been with us since the first episode. Rimpy has come such a far way. You have too. Where can we catch up with you? Where if we want to continue to see what you're up to?
Yeah, don't lose touch. I will be always working on stuff that I put up on thearcanelibrary.com, Twitter and Instagram of the same name. I hope we don't take too long of a recess, but I was so excited to be a part of this since the beginning. It was a huge honor. Thank you, Ken.
You're so welcome. And something tells me that we're going to be back sooner rather than later. So keep your eyes out, viewers.
Don't put your eyes away.
Don't put your eyes away, but keep them peeled. Anyway.
Really gross expression. Think about it for more than 2 seconds.
True.
Anthony, thank you so much for being here since the first episode. You've definitely been an awesome just backbone of this party. Sometimes I feel like you're the leader of the party. Though
No, he definitely is.
Yeah, you definitely are. Alaron is an amazing character. And
Both literally and figuratively. He goes first.
Yep, correct. Where can we catch up with you if we want to continue to see your work during our recess?
You'll continue to find me on Instagram at I'll Allow It. I'll try to post up more artwork in our off time, and hopefully it's not too long. I've had a really great time. This has been excellent, just playing D&D with everyone and the chat, and just getting to do what I love for other people.
Yeah, and thank you everyone who's contributing to the chat. Sorry we haven't been more responsive to you. We're definitely trying to produce awesome content for you to enjoy. But also last, of course, Thomas, you came in and just really, I feel like were the missing piece in some ways. This trio would not be complete without you, and so it's just you really made it amazing in some ways. I think we really upped
Thanks so
the
much for inviting
story and upped the game. You're very welcome. And where can we catch up with you if we want to continue to see what you're up to during our recess?
Sure, I'm most frequently on Twitter at Soul of Twit, TWHIT. It's my name. And we will. Yeah, I just want to say again, it's been great playing with all of you. Definitely, the two of you are some of the best co-players I played with, and Ken, it's always great to have you as DM and throwing all sorts of nonsense at us and telling your stories of the Sparkly Town delight castles and whatnot.
Yeah, I have to give a shout out to my lady friend Tiffany, who actually gave me that name, Sparkly Town Delight. Really been great. I've gotten a lot of mileage out of it.
Yeah, but this has been a really fun campaign, and I've really enjoyed doing this with you guys every week. And thanks for having me.
Totally. You're so welcome. And thank you, everyone who's tuning in. If you're watching us on Twitch or on YouTube, again, we'd really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. We will be back with more content very soon. I, once again, am Ken Breeze, Burling's Beard. Check me out on my website. Hire me to run your games if that's something you're interested in. But until next time, keep rolling those crits, everybody, and we will catch up with you then. So, bye. Bye, 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 bye.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye,
Bye.
bye.